Okay, July 27th at the O2 Arena in London, Joe Joyce will fight Derek Chisora. Now, Joyce was trying to fight Chisora many years ago when he was still with David Haye. You guys remember when he was signed to David Haye? That was either a promotional deal or a management deal, something like that. But he was kind of stalking Derek Chisora for a while. Him and David Haye would turn up. Joe Joyce would never say much. Haye would do all the talking for him. And Derek Chisora never seemed interested in the fight. But, that was then. This is now. They're fighting. And what can I really say about this matchup? Derek Chisora is obviously completely over the hill, totally shot. Joe Joyce should have more, gas left in his tank. There's less miles on his clock, even though he is actually as old as Chisora, or maybe a little bit older, but he's had less professional fights, less wear and tear. He obviously took a shellacking from Zhilei Zhang twice, but other than that, he should be the fresher guy. So I would expect Joe Joyce to win this fight, maybe on points. And the reason I say points rather than knockout is because he may have lost some confidence from the Zhang fights. In fact, I think he has. We saw with the Cash Ali fight that he wasn't particularly impressive. And also, with the styles of the two fighters, Joe Joyce being very slow-handed and Chisora obviously not having the head movement that he used to have, he's still able to bob and weave to some extent and get underneath punches. And I just think it's going to be a little difficult for Joe Joyce to land clean. That's what I envision in my mind. So maybe he'll be landing jabs and trying to push Chisora off and maybe go into the body and whatnot, but landing clean, consistent headshots. Maybe Joe Joyce can do the job with his jab, Maybe he can do that because we saw that against Daniel Dubois. He was able to get up on his toes, move around the ring, hit Dubois with that jab. But again, Derek Chisora comes in lower than Dubois and he does move his head a lot more than Dubois does. So, I don't know. I think it's probably going to be a distance fight. And if I had to make a prediction, I would say Joe Joyce wins it on points. Is it an amazing fight? No. In fact, I think it'll be pretty boring. Both guys take a good shot. Neither guy really has massive one-punch power. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Chisora is actually the more prolific puncher of the two. And he's not like a massive puncher. He has knocked people out, obviously. He's a big, hefty guy. And when he swings one of them overhand rights and it lands bang on your chin, it's not going to tickle. So, both guys have power, but they're not really elite level punchers. That's what I'm getting at. And as I say, both guys can take a shot, particularly Joe Joyce. So yeah, I reckon it's a distance fight with Joe Joyce taking it. Derek Chisora says that this will be the first of his final 3 fights. So he plans to have this fight, which will be in London at the O2, then a fight in Manchester, and then his final bout he says he wants to have in his native country of Zimbabwe. And that'll be interesting. The press asked him who that fight would be against, and he said, I don't know yet, but it'll be big. It'd be interesting if you could get a big opponent to fight him in Zimbabwe. Putting on big shows in most African countries, big boxing shows, is not very easy. And I've always wondered why there have been so few big boxing events in Africa. Obviously, there was, Lennox Lewis, Hasim Rahman 2, that was in South Africa. And there've been a few here and there, but I guess my best guess would be that it's down to corruption. Because if you want to go to an African country and put on a boxing show, I'm going to assume that there's going to be a lot of palms that you have to grease. A lot of people want to be paid. A lot of people want in. And once these big promoters realize that, they realize that all these different people and, the local government and this and that, and everybody wants a piece of the money, they end up saying, you know what, this ain't even worth it. We'll leave you to it. Because obviously there's local promoters in a lot of these African countries that are putting on shows. And again, maybe if you come in, they'll feel like you're stepping on their toes. And so, well, you better break us off some money. So I could be wrong, but that's my best guess as to why they haven't really been putting on big shows in Africa. There's plenty of money there. Countries like Nigeria, South Africa, plenty of money, but the fights, the big shows just ain't happening. I think there's just too many palms to have to grease over there. So anyway, Derek Chisora planning 3 more fights. The first is against Joe Joyce. Let's see if he sticks to it first of all, but how do you see the Joe Joyce fight going? Do you reckon he's going to lose like I think he will? Or do you think he'll pull off a win? Let me know in the comment section below. Before I go, I removed a video from my channel. It was called Tyson Fury the signs that he was going to lose to Usyk, something like that. So I removed that video from my channel because, yeah, it got the little yellow dollar sign, which meant I couldn't make any money off it. Sometimes the YouTube algorithm will do that to a video. You can't make any money off it. And whenever that happens, I just remove the video because it does happen from time to time. You know, I'm not a stranger to that happening to my videos. So I just remove those videos and I upload them now. I'm going to start uploading them all to my Patreon page. So any videos that I remove from my YouTube channel, I will upload to my Patreon page. And that particular video, if you guys want to see it, I've made it public on my Patreon page. So I'll leave a link in the description below. Just click that link. You'll be able to go watch it for free on my Patreon page. You don't have to sign up for anything. It's publicly available and accessible to anyone. All right. And also, I uploaded a video, which I was promising over the past couple days, to my Patreon page. This is for paid members on Patreon. And it is an analysis of the first 3 rounds of the Usyk Fury fight and the 7th round, where I slow down the video footage, zoom right in, and we can see exactly who's landing what. And you will see, without any shadow of a doubt, that Alexander Usyk won the first 3 rounds of the Tyson Fury fight, and he also won the 7th round. It's not me speculating. This is not my opinion. A round of professional boxing is given to whoever lands the highest number of clean, effective punches in that round. And there's absolutely no doubt when you see this footage, slow motion, zoomed in, that it was Alexander Usyk easily in those rounds 1 to 3 and round 7. So if you want to access that video, all the links are in the description and you'll go over there. There's no contract. You can cancel at any time, just like Netflix, but it's a lot cheaper. And there's loads and loads of boxing content on there, which is exclusive to Patreon, which you will not find on my YouTube channel. There's loads of film study of fights and what have you on my Patreon. So definitely check that out and I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'm out.